Well, hello everyone. I hope everyone is doing great, and you all have had a fantastic week so far. I would like to welcome you all to this session. Thank you for taking out time and attending this one. I will quickly do a short introduction about myself, our company, and our speakers. So I'll quickly start with myself. My name is Vivek Kadam. I have been with I2E Consulting for about 5 years now. I started off my career in customer support, and then I slowly moved to sales. I look after the sales at I2E Consulting, and I also act as the account manager for our clients. And I also take care of the partnerships that we have with the tech giants. Next slide, Walid. Our company, I2E Consulting, is a software services providing company founded in the year 2008 in the US. We provide both business consulting and technology solutions to large pharmaceutical companies like Pfizer, Novartis, Merck, etc. Our services revolve around project and portfolio management, data science and analytics, cloud migration, and staff augmentation. We're a Planisware partner and we have a huge team of Planisware certified professionals. We are also partners with Microsoft, AWS, and Automation Anywhere. This event is co-hosted by our partner Planisware. Now, Planisware, as most of us here know, is a PPM software featured in the leaders quadrant of the Gartner's Magic Quadrant of PPM Software 2019. Ever since they've started, the customer base is growing, and our speaker Walid will be telling us more about the company. Let me also quickly introduce our panelist today and our speaker, Mr. Walid Letaief. Next slide, yeah. So Walid is a Planisware implementation consultant at Planisware and has over 5+ years of experience in project and portfolio management tools, including resource, schedule, and task management. Mr. Letaief plays a very important role in the Planisware adoption journey of the customers, right from the implementation to product training and building custom features and interfaces with other applications. And even in the migrating, even in migrating client legacy data to Planisware. He's a certified project management professional and a Scrum Master. We also have Mr. Francois Fretrin. Francois is Director of Sales at Planisware. He has over 30 years of experience in the industry and has been with Planisware for 15 years. He heads all the sales initiatives at Planisware for Planisware Orchestra and would be helping us know more about the tool today along with Walid. So as you all know, the topic of today's webinar is Accelerate Life Science Innovations with Consistent Project and Resource Management Practices. Without any further delay, I would request Walid to please take over and start the session. So over to you, Walid.
All right, thank you for this huge introduction. All right, so I'm Walid Letaief, a pre-sales specialist at Planisware, and I will be sharing with you some concerns and solutions in relation with life science industry. I will also present you our portfolio and project management solution, Planisware Orchestra, which is a real asset to the success of your life science projects. So, little introduction about Planisware. So Planisware is a global provider of program, product, and project portfolio management, so PPM, software for a new product development and engineering organization. Unlike most vendors in this space, project portfolio management software is our one and only focus, and we pride actually ourselves in delivering best of breed solutions. With more than 500 clients worldwide and over 20 years of PPM experience, we are recognized as market leader by reference analysts. So let us now talk about your key concerns that are facing as life science. So as a CRO or as a pharma, you are dealing with complex and long projects, but also regulatory constraints and key milestones that need to be tracked. You have to do some clinical study, outsourcing, schedule, and track the activities, manage internal and external resources, but also capitalize on the last experiences with the best practices. In addition to all of that, you still have to keep an eye on project value and optimize your time to market. Okay, so let's start with activity scheduling and tracking main concerns. So the main concern is managing a project and always controlling the coordination of tasks and project phases to ensure go or no go are made at the right time. Also be able to announce an end date or the commercial date for a product as soon as possible. You must be able to predict it, but also to adjust it correctly. Keep the plan under control all the time, which is quite challenging when you are dealing with plans over 10 years long, as for prescription projects, for example. When the initial product target profile is reached, the initial launch is made. Then you may have to manage geographical rollout, which can be actually another project, for example. So to deal with all those concerns with an accurate project plan, you will be able to, in one view, to see links between your projects. I mean, if you have links inter projects, but also within a project, so links between activities, project tasks, key milestones, etc. For example, with an up-to-date clinical study date, you will be able to schedule or reschedule the commercial launch date and enable the commercial to start working not too early, but also not too late to meet the perfect time of product on the market. You will be also able to track tasks and alert your manager or sponsor in case of a risk impacting a contractual or commercial commitment. If the company objective is to be in the first on the market, for example, and you are competing with others on the same product type, it's crucial to be sure that project is meeting expectation over time. Depending on study results, you will be able to kill a project when you have to, but you also have to, it has to be correctly planned. Remember that killing a project can be as challenging as executing it. So moving forward, we can talk about also challenges from the resource management part. So resource management is key for project planning and execution. Here are some common concerns. When a new opportunity comes, you need to quickly assess the resource needs. You will need to find the skills required and ensure a smooth capacity planning with no bottlenecks and no gaps. Some solutions to those topics can be dealt with an appropriate system to check on a single screen the resource workload over a specific time period. And this way you can assess if you need or not to outsource some activities, or maybe reschedule or change priorities internally. So if your plan is no more on track and is deviating, you may need, for example, toxicological expertise, no more in May, but in August. Your expert may be already booked on other projects, and this can be an issue for you. Or if you schedule to receive from regulatory authorities a feedback or a Q&A session, you will be able to secure your pharmaceutical expert availability with a consistent capacity planning over all your projects. This way, you are dealing with each project constraint. So moving forward with another challenge, which is the project planning, best practices. So activity scheduling and resource management optimization can be leveraged for project planning best practices also. Key subject would be able to keep memory of past experiences. You clearly do not want to go from scratch each time you need to start a new project, like a new medicine, for example. To help you, PPM systems can create a corresponding project template that saves a lot of time. You will also gain in accuracy of your schedule, cost estimation, and achieving targets. Based on post-mortem analysis that you run after each project, those templates are continually improving, helping you fast-tracking activities, but also optimizing your budget by preventing any non-value or non-essential step. Of course, lessons learned take time to be implemented. And a PPM tool can really help in that capitalization exercise. It's a long and complex exercise, but really worth it. Using internal or external benchmark, those templates include timelines with the regulatory deadlines, Q&A times with sometimes buffer that you need, because with experience, you know that you will need that buffer, and it will be very important to have that on your timing. This is in order to secure your milestones and more globally build a credible roadmap for your company. So last but not least, in our challenges, we have project valuation. It's also one of the main concerns. If you are a CRO company, you need to invoice your sponsor at the right time for the appropriate period and activity. And if you are a pharma company, you need to monitor and control your projects to meet the target. And depending on the country where you run your activities, you may benefit of a tax credit. In order to obtain that tax credit, you need to justify your activities. To help with that, in case of a CRO, you will be able to track time spent on the activities on a timesheet system. Your resources will log their spent time into a timesheet system that can be part of a PPM tool. And that information will also be related to cost and load modules as sunk costs or burned cash. As a pharma, time tracking will support your knowledge database as realistic workload on each project phase and will ease task credit valuation, if any, of course, depending on project types and resource categories. So with a project management system, you will be able to set baselines. So baseline is a snapshot of your project schedule and cost and load that would be used for tracking in initial versus the actual versus, for example, the final cost. This also would support project running forecast review. So you can build specific reports once at the start of the project, then share them with the key stakeholders. So to wrap up, I would say that all the different challenges and concerns that I shared with you today can be managed using a PPM tool, and hopefully you will also be able to leverage all your past experience and lessons learned into that tool. So in that order, our solution, Planisware Orchestra, can help you managing life science projects. Okay, so moving forward to the presentation of our tool, Planisware Orchestra is a full PPM solution. That means that it's managing all the project life cycle. It starts with ideation phase, collecting, scoring, and sorting your ideas or demands that may lead into projects. We have the ability to select the best idea aligned to your organization. Once you have identified it and you initiate your project, not from an execution standpoint, but I mean building a first estimate of cost and load and schedule needs. Here at work intake phase, actually, you will be able to create a business case of your project with a business value scoring, but also financial indicators as NPV, IRR, expected benefits, etc. Then at a portfolio level, you will be able to compare the different project candidates and prioritize them. Once you have your strategic priorities set up, you can then simulate execution scenarios by simulating the impact on resource capacity plan, but also on the cost plan. You will be able to answer questions like, do I have enough resource to start that project? If not, what resource type do I need? And what is the most appropriate time to start that project without any over allocation and keeping my current resource capacity? So once you start the execution of your project, Planisware Orchestra provides you different project management methodologies, as for example, waterfall, agile, or both, and as an hybrid. So also it supports governance management with Stagegating capabilities, scheduling, work items tracking using boards, which is very useful, and it's actually very user-friendly as it's a visual management type. Risk issues and change request logs also are managed within that tool. but also effective reporting. And of course, all that in order to deliver your projects according to your plans, keeping it on track and achieving targeted business value. All right, we are going to move to our demo. So just a moment. Okay. All right, so in our demo today, we are going to simulate that we are within an organization. Actually, its name is Carexis Limited. It's a contract research organization reporting for several clients. So within our demo today,
I am sorry to interrupt, Walid. Are you trying to share the Planisware Orchestra screen?
No, not yet. I'm
Not
still
yet.
on
Okay.
the presentation of our
Great,
demo.
great. Okay, great. Continue.
All right.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so the issue that I'm going to present you today is about an injection project that did not pass a key gate. So what might be the impact and how can I identify the causes? So here we have a second part of analysis. The root cause seems to be a problem of resource availabilities, which is most common in the life science industry. How can I solve this problem to get the job done in time? This is very important, in time. Problem solving. So how can I find the good resource? How can I track the resolution of that issue? How can I also coordinate efficiently all the project stakeholders? Because we already have an issue. We don't have to have other issues or misunderstanding between all the different project stakeholders. So talking about our project stakeholders today, let me introduce you 5 different resources today. First of them is Manage. Manage is a clinical resource manager. So Manage is managing a team of resource, but also he's managing the whole plan and he's assigning the resources. Then we have Raul. Raul is a pharmaceutical product manager. He supervises all the injection product activities. He's mostly interested in more roadmaps, risk mitigation, tracking the progress, etc. Then we have Prisha. Prisha is our project manager today. She's managing several injection projects, but also she needs to request cost, but also load. So she needs probably some resource needs. Vivek is our gatekeeper. Vivek is one of our experts in Carexis. He's a gatekeeper. He knows exactly what are the deliverables that need to be done. So he is able to check the project deliverables, but also to put his review, so a go or no go, and he can approve gates. Bhavin is one of our resources. He's a medical expert, and he will be assigned a specific task within our scenario today. Okay, so let's move on, and I'm going to show you directly the tool here. Okay, let's start our live demo. So Raul is going to check his program dashboard. So he's going to connect to his interface on Planisware Orchestra. So once Rahul is connected, actually, he will be able to check his program dashboard. As you can see here, Rahul, once again, is the project management manager of the X injection product. Here he has a dashboard actually that he actually customized to show this way. He has an overview on all the projects that are included for injection project. He can see the projects sorted by phase and gate. He can see a roadmap with the most relevant events and milestones of the project. He can also track the cost and load of the product development. So here, by actually going through his dashboard, he can see that for the X1.6 injection project, he can see that there is a key milestone, a key gate that needs to be passed. It's the go to phase 1. That means that we are done with the preclinical stage and we are moving to the phase 1. So moving below, he has a whole project summary with the different health chart indicators. So he can see that for the X1.6 injection, there is a red status, the expected percentage complete versus the actual. And he can see that actually we're a little bit late. And he can have also this comment saying, not on track, late for gate, go to phase 1. So Raul is going to access the project. Of course, from his dashboard, he can directly jump in and he can focus on that element because we have hyperlink that are going directly to open the project. So here, once he accesses the project, he can exactly see that there is a red status, but also the trend is really bad. He can have other informations, but he's mostly interested in the reporting. So once he moves to the reporting part, he can see that there is a report that was issued on November 25, and the flash reporting is actually kind of like a time lapse and a screenshot of your projects. So you can do that every time that you have a project review or schedule review. Every time you will be able to create this flash report with different indicators that are automatically calculated, but also the project manager has the ability, since the last review, to add some comments, like for example, the highlights, the issues that were encountered, what are the next steps to resolve those issues. Here, Raul can see that the project is on hold. There are some issues. The final medical reports are not generated. And he can see that the project manager, so here it's Prisha, she actually saying that she will need to assign final medical reports review to medical experts for the next steps. Back. So actually, Raul is going to share a comment with Prisha, and he's going to ask her how things are going. So here, and this is one of our collaborative features, we have the ability directly to ask resources. So for Prisha, he's going to ask her if she can actually allocate a resource to help medical experts get the final report done. Of course, we need to pass the gate, otherwise it will impact other projects, because on his time, on his roadmap, Raul, he can clearly see that this is going to impact other projects. And here he's going to publish the comments so that we have it on our comments module on the project. Okay, once it's shared, now we are going to connect as Prisha. So I'm going to quickly log in as Prisha. So once Prisha connects here, so directly she's going to get to her homepage. Actually, this homepage is actually a summary of different elements like comments, active projects, tasks, etc. So it's kind of like a very interactive board, and she can completely customize it. So here she can see on the last comments, she received one comment from Raul saying, can you allocate an extra resource to help the medical experts? Oh yeah, okay. So she's going to connect to that project. So she can see the comment, and she knows exactly what needs to be done. So she can of course answer him and say, sure, I will do that ASAP. To do is that she's going to check the stage and gate. So the stage and gate details with the different elements. So here she can see that the go to phase 1 is requested. It's currently in review. Okay, it's currently in review. And the Vivek experts, he's putting a no-go. He put that on 25, saying that there is a missing final report. And she can confirm that because below we have the different deliverables that are needed to pass the go to phase 1 gate. And she can see that the final medical study report is missing. It was not actually checked. Barvin Adam is the responsible of that delivery. So actually, Prisha is going to connect to the Gantt actually, and on the Gantt she can directly jump in to that specific task about the reporting. So here she can see that the final medical report is still not delivered because it's 80%, and it's in progress. It was not completed. So you can see actually on her Gantt, she can have a lot of visibility about tasks that are completed, that are in progress, that are done, etc. And that one is still in progress. So actually what she's going to do is she's going to request an extra resource as she was asked to by Raoul. So going to the cost and load module in the input here, she has actually, and this is the cost and load module, it's a module that shows and allows the project manager to request either a budget, but also a resource to his project. It helps him to control the baseline, the budgeted, the actual, the remaining, and also the forecast of the cost and load. So here she knows that she needs this medical expert for that task. So directly, she's going to focus on the final medical study report that is happening on October 12th. And she's going to add a resource type. She's going to specify that she needs a medical expert. And she's going to assign him for example, 2 days. Okay, and save it. Once it's done, this request is created and it's automatically sent to the resource manager, because of course this medical expert is not under the authority of our project manager. He's in another team. So he will have to request the allocation of that resource from the resource manager. So actually to quickly get that approval, she is going to share with Manoj. So same thing here. She's going to look for Manoj in the list. Okay. And she's going to ask him if he can approve the resource allocation request for an extra medical expert. Same thing, she's going to publish the comment. All right. So now she just requested that additional resource. We are now going to connect as Manoj. So remember, Manoj is our clinical resource manager. So once Manoj connects, he has a direct view on his dashboard. So he is a resource manager. He's going to get a view on the dashboard that is going to be related to his department, to the laboratory. He can have here an overview on the different resources, their allocation, their costs, etc. So actually, to get that notification, he can directly get that here in the notification. So he can see that Prisha, she shared with him a comment, and this is the main asset of our tool. It's very collaborative. You get directly notifications in your notification center. He can click on it and he can see that she's asking him to approve the request. And he can also get the screen from where Prisha shared that comment. All right, so moving to the laboratory. Here, so Manoj is going to answer that request. So he's going to use the resource manager module. So the resource management module is allowing the resource manager to answer the request from different project managers to allocate resources to their projects. He can find down at the end the current allocated resources, and on the right he can see the requested resources that are pending allocation approval from the resource manager. So here he's going to select his laboratory, here medical expert. He knows directly that there is one request, and he knows that this is for the X1.6 injection, as you can see, within the preclinical stage, and this is for the final medical report. So there is one request. On the right, as I said, he has the availability of the different medical experts. So he has 3 medical experts that are available. They are quite available. So he's going to, for example, allocate Bhavin, Adam, to that resource, to that need. It's very simple, just a drag and drop, and he can directly allocate him to that task. So once it's done, automatically we can see that Bhavin was allocated to that task. And actually, Manoj is going to share back with Prisha. So actually, he's going back to his notification center. He's going to answer that comment here in the comment center, and he can directly answer that it's done. Okay, so moving forward, once it's done, Manoj actually is going to share a comment with Bavin. Either he can share it and say, I just allocated you to do that task, or Bavin, once he connects, he can see that actually he was allocated to that task. So once he connects, so he can see here that Manoj assigned him to the final medical study report. So sometimes you don't need every time to do a comment or to notify people that you just asked them to do a job or something, or you need an information from them. The tool automatically, when you do assignments or when you have, for example, tasks that are late, or for example, when you request the progress of a task, automatically you will get those notifications in your notification center. Okay, so once Bavin connects to his dashboards and he saw the notification from Manage, he's going to synchronize with the new resource. And once they are done with the deliverable, he can get back to the Gantt chart view. So within his project, getting back to the Gantt view. So of course, the Gantt view, it's a view that shows all the project tasks and milestones. And here they are grouped with the different staging gates. All the tasks are, of course, linked, and we have the ability to show the critical path, the progress made, and the owners of those tasks. We have also the ability to do direct allocation. Here, it's kind of hidden because actually Prisha doesn't know who are the resources that are going to do the job, but we have the ability to show the allocated resources. And as you can see, for the one that we are interested in, we have here our medical expert that was assigned. So here in the progress, as Bavin completed the job and he was able to finish on time, he's going to pass it to 100%. Once it's updated, automatically that information is going to be related and given to the project manager. So now our gatekeeper, Vivek, is going to be able to access his environment. He will be able to access back the project. He can see here that we are waiting for his approval for the go to phase 1. And of course, the final medical study report was just delivered on time. So he's going to be able to do a review. Here, he can give his go. He can say that report is okay now and save it. Once it's done, so Prisha, she will be able actually to view that review, to see that comment, see that the report is okay, we have a go. But also, this is very important, is that all the gate reviews, we have a history. So we can see directly what and when did the gatekeepers make that review. So based on those reviews, Prisha is going to give her a go. So what's going to happen is that automatically you will get the go to phase 1 green. That means that we just finished the phase of preclinical, and now we are going to move to the next phase and work towards keeping projects and programs on track. All right. So just quickly as a wrap up, what we just said, what I just presented you is how a product manager was able to from his dashboard. Then he was able to quickly request some information from the project manager, who by her own was able to request an extra resource from the resource manager, who quickly has the ability with the matching need tool to directly see who is the appropriate resource, what are their availabilities, can they answer that request or not, and he directly was able to allocate that resource. That resource, he directly get that information through the notification center. So from a collaborative way, we have the most efficient gain for the time and for the cost, but also for the effort. So once the deliverable is done, it's the stage and gate methodology, which ensures actually experts can review the gates, and but also that you can define a checklist of deliverables. And this is in order to make sure not forgetting any important deliverable and ensure the same level of delivery of all your projects. So on that way, you can keep an eye on your project, but also on all the different indicators as cost, load, resource, schedule, etc. All right, so we are done with our demo today. So thank you for your attention. And of course, feel free for any questions and we'll be more than pleased to answer them.
Great. It was a very good session, Valid. Can you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. It was a very good session, and I see that we got a few questions. We will start taking them one by one, and you and Francois can let me know whoever wants to take it. I see the first one here. It says, "Can we do the business case with this tool?" It's anonymous.
Yes, of course, you can define a business case for your planned cost and your planned revenues, and that will help you calculate the the net NPV value, for instance, over a period of 5 or 10 years. So you can then compare each business case to determine what is the best project to launch against the company objectives.
Yeah, so based on the business case for each project, of course, you will be able at the product level. So here we have an aggregation, as you can see, of different products, of different accounts, client accounts, etc. You will be able at each of those levels to do a review, and you will be able to see your different projects, and you will be able to compare them and prioritize them. Yes.
Okay. I think we've got one more. It says, how many projects we can manage in this tool? Any limitation?
So
there is no real limitation. You can most of our customers, they can have from 10, 15 projects, but because maybe they are major projects to thousands of projects. So there's no real limitation.
All right. We have one more. How is the base date fed into the tool? Can it communicate with an organization's internal database / ERP database?
Yes, correctly. So we typically integrate Orchestra with ERP to get typically if you are managing resources to get their unavailabilities. So you can do correct planning of your resources within Orchestra. So we can import resource unavailabilities. We can also import the project financials if they are tracked in the ERP, like the Oracle ERP or the SAP ERP. We can import actuals so that will automatically update the budget actuals within Orchestra, so you can track physical progress as well as the budget progress.
Great. There's another one here. It says all users required licenses. I mean, do all the users require licenses?
No, so we have three types of licenses. We have the normal users like a portfolio manager, a project manager, or project participants. That's the normal license. Then we have a light license for people just entering timesheet information. And then we have an inquiry license, which is free. So people who just want to look at dashboard information or just collaborate, they have a free license.
Okay. Well, another one we have here. Is there any mechanism to flag the project if its performance is not up to the mark or lagging behind?
Yes, automatically the project, you have what we call KPIs that are automatically calculated, like this, in this case, the what we call the RAG status, so the red, amber, or green status. This can be manually positioned or can be automatically positioned, and based on that, it will be up to the portfolio manager, of course, to decide if the project must be halted or could continue, or making maybe some change request to take some actions to bring back the project in line.
Great. Next up, we have, how difficult is the setup? Is it a huge undertaking?
No, typically our customers, of course, depending on the size of the implementation, but most implementation for the tool is between 1 month to 6 months, depending on the size and the complexity of the organization. But typically the configuration, the system comes with configuration templates, so it already comes with predefined dashboards and predefined workflows. So it's a matter of adjusting those to your processes to be able to use the solution.
Perfect. I see we are getting a lot of questions here. So the next up we have is, can we customize this tool as per our requirement? Do you provide support for this?
Yes, so we do two things. We can train you first how to configure the tools. We can also help you to configure the tools. But basically, the best way to configure the tool is to define the templates and the methodology you want to implement, and that can be done as an exercise with you, or if we train you, you can also create your own methodology within the tool.
Okay.
What is do we help migration with existing tool? Yes, the tool has a native import from MS Project, so we can import existing projects which are running under MS Project.
Great. What is the level of customization possibility on the tool?
So the free level of customization. So firstly, as a user, I can customize the screens. I can customize, the fields I want to appear in the tabular views. I can customize the dashboards. I can customize the workflows. So these are things that the users can do. Then the next level of configuration is by adding new fields, adding new objects within the applications. So this can be done by the administrator of the solution.
All right. So all the attendees, we have a lot of time at hand. Please go ahead and ask questions if you have. I see a few of them we've answered while we were in the middle of the session. So I would like to take them up in the meanwhile. So here, there's one that says, are you working on any agrochemicals company in India?
No, as I was saying, we are new to the market in India, but we have customers worldwide in the chemical industry or the agro industry. So we are familiar with those type of requirements. In fact, this webinar is really the launch of our solution in the Indian market.
Great. Okay. In our business, ideation to commercialization takes at least 5 years. How does stage gating works in your program?
Basically, what we do on the stage and gate, basically we can define a template with phase which have a duration covering the full implementation project. That can be from 5 years or 10 years. And what is important is that we track the progress of a project when it goes through the different phases and stages. And what is important sometimes is really to compare how the project have run against, so you can compare the phase duration of the project A with the project B and project C, so you can see which projects have done well and which projects have been lagging behind. and in which phase.
Right. If in the middle of a sprint, clients say we need to add some new feature, how Planisware is going to handle such challenges?
Basically, the tool can manage a backlog of requirements, and if in the middle of a sprint you decide that your team has been overperforming, so you have time that is left for in the sprint to do new requirements. So you can assign new items or new requirements to be dealt through the sprint. So the tool is very flexible in managing the way you assign tasks and requirements to the sprint.
Great. Okay. Are you going to share with us the recording? Yes. The recording of this webinar will be shared with all the attendees. It will also be available on our website. I also see a question that says, are you working for any agrochemicals? So yeah, I mean, definitely we can take this offline. If you want to know more about the software, we can set up a separate meeting for that. We have another question coming in. Do we have project wiki functionality in Planisware?
Yes, so we have collaboration capabilities within the tool. So the project participants can exchange comments, can exchange information, and this will be part of what we call the project wall, where you will have a list of all the comments that are coming either at a very detailed level, at the task level or activity level, or at the global project level.
Great. Okay, so we've kind of answered all the questions that we've got our way. Okay, we're waiting for more questions. We still have about 10 to 15 minutes at hand. So in the meanwhile, I would like to share the result of the polls. Okay. I hope you all are able to see the results. And yeah, we'll still open for more questions. Please go ahead and park your questions in the Q&A box. We would be more than happy to answer. Okay, we have another question coming in. Can we manage recurring tasks in Planisware?
Yes, you can manage recurring tasks and recurring allocation. So you can say, that person is working on the project every Wednesday or every Thursday. So we can do that automatically. Yeah.
Okay, we have another one that says, what is the cost of the tool?
So the cost of the tool is based on the number of licenses that you have. And as I mentioned, we have three types of licenses. We have a normal user, a light user, and a free license for people who would just do inquiries. I would suggest you approach you approach us if you want to have a more precise quotation on the tool. But it is a monthly fee per user that is charged.
Okay, can you provide F2F training to use the tool? If the question is related to the training, yeah, I'm guessing it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so as part of the implementation project, we can provide a training. Yeah. A conferencing facility. No, we don't provide within the tool a conferencing facility. We basically we can interact with tools, you know, like Teams, for instance. So we have a connector for Teams, for instance, so we can push information to a collaborative tools.
Great. So I think we're done with all the questions here.
Yeah, so we can
Please,
conclude.
yeah, I think that's it. We still have some time at hand, but we'll wait for another minute and then we can close. So while we do that, I just once again would like to thank everyone who who were on this call today with us. Thank you for your valuable time. Like I said, the recording of this webinar will be available on our website and a link will also be sent to you. And please remember that we host webinars every month and sometimes even twice a month. So looking forward to seeing you all in our future events. And yeah, we're waiting for another 2 to 3 minutes. If you have any closing questions, please go ahead, or else we'll be ending this session. For any product demos or any inquiries that you have, you can reach out directly to me. My name, as you know, is Vivek Kadam. You see my email address on the screen here. And obviously you'll be receiving emails from us asking for a quick feedback about the session. And we'd highly appreciate if you could respond. And I think that's it, since we don't see any questions in the box here. So I would like to close this session by again thanking you, and please take care of yourselves. Don't forget to wash your hands and wear your masks. Stay safe. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Walid, and thank you, Francois.
Thank you very much.
Great
Thank you,
session.
Vivek. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.